So we've all been lied to. The fitness industry is absolutely hiding the truth. So for most of my life, I thought I understood fitness. Like a lot of people, I grew up looking at the bodybuilders and assuming that was the definition of being fit. You got the big muscles, you got the low body fat, you got the defined abs, you got that look, right? And I'm in my mid 50s. I don't know how old you are specifically, but I grew up, I remember like seeing pumping iron and all those things. I'm like, these guys, that is what fitness is. These guys, look at them. They couldn't be any more healthier now. Obviously, it couldn't be further from the truth. It's amazing, but when you're younger, that seems obvious, right? It seems like someone who looks like that, you have to assume that they are the absolute picture of health. But over time, I learned obviously that's not the full story. In a lot of cases, it's not even really fitness in the way most people think about it. Is the fact it's a physique, it's a sport, it's an aesthetic. It's amazing, but healthy, that's not what it is. And there's an important difference. So, because looking fit and being fit are not the same thing. I have been physically active for my entire life. And so over the years, I've chased a lot of ideas about what health and fitness were supposed to be. I've tried a lot of the fad diets, sometimes because I'm interested, sometimes purely exploratory for the people I coach. I've tried carnivore, I've tried vegan, by the way, which is one of the most challenging ones for me, coming from what was a more traditional diet or nutrition plan to go vegan. Just say, hey, on Monday I'm starting vegan, I'm going 6 months and I'm going to be 100% strict. That was a tough one to follow, but I learned a lot from it. So I've tried different phases, different rules, different promises. And so what I found was, as a balanced diet, for example, built around wholesome foods, more in line with like what would be a Mediterranean style approach, consistently worked better for me than all these extremes, right? So that's just an example. So it's not just in how I looked, it's how I felt, how I performed, and how sustainable it was. And I think that's the part that people miss. Fitness is not supposed to be a short burst of suffering followed by burnout. Fitness is a lifestyle. It's not one workout. It's not one meal. It's not one supplement. It's not one drug. It's not just one 30-day challenge away from changing everything. It's an absolute lifestyle. So that's where a lot of people get pulled off track, because the fitness industry is very, very good at selling urgency. Listen to that. Fitness industry is very good, probably the best, at selling urgency. It tells you how to lose weight fast, how to look better now, how to buy this specific product, try this exact program, do what those influencers are doing. And I get why people fall for it, right? If you're frustrated, you're tired, older, or stuck, and a quick fix sounds appealing. I mean, if I could tell you, hey, you can be perfect or look like this in this amount of time or that amount of time, who wouldn't choose that one, right? And sometimes some of these things, even they work for a little while. They might even give you a short burst of motivation, but if the approach is not sustainable, the results aren't either, right? So that's why so many people keep cycling through one thing after another. They try the new diet, they try the new workout, they try the new supplementation, whatever that new promise is, they try that. And so when it doesn't last, they blame themselves. But often the problem isn't the person, it's not us, it's the model that we were sold. A lot of fitness marketing is built, it's an image business, right? So it's all surrounded by image, and that creates a huge problem, because body and image are not the same thing. You can have someone who looks absolutely amazing in a photo. They're exhausted, they're under-recovered, underfed perhaps, completely disconnected from real health. And you can have someone who doesn't match that ideal, right, image, but they're strong, they're mobile, they're energetic, they're disciplined, and far healthier in the ways that actually matter. And that's why I always come back to this. Looks matter, of course. I'm not saying they don't, but looks are only one piece of the puzzle. So what matters more is, how do you feel? How do you move? How rapidly are you able to recover? How you're aging, and how you actually function in your day-to-day real life. Can you walk without pain? Can you lift? Can you bend? Move well? Can you keep your energy up? Can you maintain muscle? Can you stay independent as you go over? To me, that's an absolutely terrifying thought. Is when you get to a certain age, I appreciate anybody who would be delighted to help me as I get older, but I want to be able to control my day-to-day activities as long as I can without assistance from others for as long as I can. I mean, that's the thing about that. So to me, all those questions matter more than a single photo, and that's really what some of this stuff is. It's just a single photo, and so as we age, this becomes even more important. So because the body changes as we get older, our recovery time changes, our energy changes. Your life may possibly get more complicated, right? And so if you keep chasing the same goals with those same old strategies, frustration is going to follow. It usually follows, right? So one of the main reasons I shifted my own approach, and it's also why this channel exists, is because I've been around for a bit, new to YouTube, but I've been around for a long time, is I've seen enough of the fitness world to know that a lot of it is performance. And when I say the word performance, I can substitute that for theater. It's acting, right? A lot of it's just purely marketing, and a lot of it is built around making you feel like you're always just that one thing away from fixing yourself. But real fitness is different, right? Real fitness is less flashy. It's far slower. Real fitness is more pure and honest. And honestly, it's far more rewarding. So when you focus on what actually works, everything gets better. Your energy improves, your routine, it becomes more stable, your body feels better, and the whole process becomes something you can actually live with, right? And ultimately, that's the real win. So let me talk to you about why people keep falling for this fitness marketing. It's really simple. It's quick fixes that promise relief or change without asking for any kind of full change from you, right? So I'm going to get all this, but I don't have to give anything in return. And they make it sound like you get to keep your life mostly the same and still get the body, the energy, the confidence, all those things you want. But that's not how it works, right? Real change asks for habits. And so it asks you to, real habits like eating better most of the time, moving consistently, lifting weights, walking, focusing on your sleep, focusing on your recovery, and then guess what? Repeating that. And then guess what? Repeating that again. It doesn't sound exciting, but it absolutely works. Fitness is not a single event. It's not one detox. It's not one injection, which that's a big thing now. It's not one miracle meal. It's not one workout that just absolutely saves everything. It's the accumulation of what you do over time, right? That's where the actual transformation happens. So it's not one single big moment. It's the repeated decisions that we make. So to get personal for a second, so over the years, I worked with clients that who came to me after trying about everything. Honestly, the majority of the people that are my clients are the ones who have tried so many different fad things over time. They've done the diets, they've done the extreme plans, they've done the trendy programs, the stuff they were told this is the one that will finally work. And in many of the cases, when by the time we met, basically they were just worn out, both mentally, physically, emotionally. And so what they needed wasn't another extreme. They needed something that was far more real, something that was sustainable, something that respected their age, their schedule, their life, their body. And we built that kind of approach together, because I think that's what coaching is. Coaching isn't me directing or you being told. It's a collaboration, right? We work together, and that's when things start to change. So it's not overnight, it's not magical, but it does last. And that's what makes it worth it, because when you stop chasing all that noise and start doing the real work, the payoff is it's bigger than just how you look. It changes how you live. So and if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, this all matters more than ever, because real fitness, it should be a priority. Not because you just need to be perfect, but because your health now affects your future in a bigger way than most people realize, right? So the stronger you are now, the better you'll move later. The more consistent you are now, the more capable you'll be later. The more honest you are now, the less regret you'll have later. And that's the goal. It's not just to look perfect. It's, to be prepared, to stay strong, to stay active, to stay useful to your life. And that's what longevity, which is, it's a word that's being misused greatly right now, but that's what longevity is really about. So, if you've been sold the wrong version of fitness, that's okay. The realization is the beginning of something better, right? So understanding that is giving us an opportunity to move forward to something else. So once you see through all that hype, you stop wasting your time on all the wrong things. You stop just simply chasing the image. You stop trying to force your body into someone else's mold. You just start trying to build a version of fitness that actually fits your actual lifetime. And that's the basically our mission here at DEFY Longevity is, real habits, real strategies, real results. And so to that point, if it's something you ever you want any help personally, I'm open to it. I do that quite a bit. I've got some amazing success stories from folks who've tried absolutely everything that the industry's been pushing on them. It takes it takes patience, it takes honesty, it takes some effort, but when you stop chasing that illusion and start doing the real work, the payoff is far bigger than the mirror, right? Because it's not just about the look. So it changes your energy, your confidence, changes your whole life. So if this message is something that speaks to you and you want to do that, not salesy at all, but in the comment section, just put "coach me," and we'll connect. Okay. So if you want more information on what personal coaching, what that might look like, there's no pressure, no gimmicks, just real conversations. See how we can work together and kind of go from there. But that's the thing, right? So the best thing from a coaching standpoint is I've got a client right now. She's late 50s, been through so many different things from a fitness standpoint. She's done she's focused on the gym. She's focused on his diet. She's gone as far as to do some of the shots that are out right now. They're doing this dramatic weight loss, and God knows there's a lot of other stuff that goes with it too, but that's a different topic altogether. But actually, we had a frank conversation. She said, "Hey, I did this specific, this Wegovy, for example, is one of the ones I did this, and I did this combination. I went from 196 pounds down to 135 pounds, and she said it really worked." And I'm not a mean person, by the way, but I said it didn't work, and she said, "No, it did. I was here, and now that I was here." I said, "Where are you now?" And she was up at 220 pounds. I said, how does that work? I said, it didn't work. It was a temporary thing. It didn't change your habits, didn't change your lifestyle, it didn't change all these things. So it didn't work, right? And so it was, a tough conversation, but we got into it and we've been focused, and there's the best thing ever. So about 7 months into it, she had found herself down at that high 190s, definitely heavier than she needed to be, but she was determined. She was honest with me, very focused, followed the steps. And what ultimately was so exciting about the whole situation is I felt like it was a breakup. She felt like it was a breakup, and she said, no, it's the happiest day I'd had with her was, she stopped. She said, hey, you know what? I think I got this. We're about 7 months in. She had gotten from those high 190s, actually a little higher than her 130s, felt wonderful, felt amazing, looking good, and her confidence level was through the roof. She changed her lifestyle. She a lot of things, and she just couldn't be happier. I mean, the glow on her face is amazing, and she was in that low 140s and feels wonderful. And she felt like she was breaking up with me. Felt guilty about it because she knows what to do now. She's created an absolute lifestyle for herself and understands how this absolutely works. Best thing ever. Absolutely best thing ever. I lost a client, but I feel like in some ways you kind of almost like saved a life, essentially, from emotionally and physically, and added years to this woman's life, and it's an amazing thing, and that's what we want to see happen. So, this is what we're here to do. So, we're here to build strength, protect your energy, preserve that muscle, and focus on the kind of fitness that actually is going to last, because the industry, it's not going to change. I'm just telling you, I've been around for a long time in this industry, and it's going to keep selling the image because we keep buying it. If they keep pitching it and we keep buying it, it's not going to change. So, but it's time that, myself included, but we all deserve the truth. So hopefully you got something from this video. Every single thing we do here, so like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you, and if I can help personally, of course, let me know like I asked. But all we focus on here is defying aging, how we can do this together, and I give good tips, good exercises, good nutrition focus. I try to throw a little motivation there as well. Anything I can do to help whatsoever. So take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.